Right from the start, what was it God vetoed? What was the first thing God would not put up with? Genesis chapter 1, verses 2 and 3 describe what he found unbearable and what he did about it. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. That's in Genesis 1:2. Later in this chapter, God will call his creation very good. But he finds nothing good in the shroud of darkness engulfing his world. So the first words out of God's mouth in verse 3 are, "Let there be light." And there was light. The darkness, it didn't stand a chance. God spoke the word that drove it out. Darkness clashes with God's very nature. As the writer of 1 John 1:5 explains, God is light. In him is no darkness at all. But things took a disastrous turn for the worse in the world's first workplace. At some point, the serpent began speaking darkness into the human beings God had put in charge of the garden. The darkness spread. The first case of workplace violence came about when Cain took his brother Abel out to a field meant for growing crops and murdered him. Now, thousands of years later, the darkness has crept around the world and into workplaces everywhere. In their book, Integrity at Work, Norman Geisler and Randy Douglas open chapter 1 by saying, "Today's corporate world is lost in work's ethical wilderness. But what's so dark about the workplace? Most offices seem well illuminated with carefully planned lighting systems. Darkness in the workplace cannot be seen with the eye, but those working there experience it in these and other ways: discrimination, theft, gossip, envy, bitterness, laziness, sexual harassment, grudges, greed, deception, selfish ambition, bullying, disengagement, cheating, and the like." So the darkness in today's world, unlike the darkness of the earth at the beginning, is moral, ethical, and spiritual. But the God who is light will not tolerate this darkness either. He came against the darkness by sending his son Jesus, who said, "While I am in the world, I am the light of the world." Knowing he would not remain on earth, Jesus told his followers, "You are the light of the world." This changes everything for you and me as contemporary Christ followers. As he himself says, "If I make you light bearers, you don't think I'm going to hide you under a bucket, do you? I'm putting you on a light stand." Your work then, whatever it is, serves as that light stand. Are you a janitor? A graphic designer? A grocery checkout clerk? You fill in the blank. Your job serves as a lampstand because it positions you, the light, in a specific part of God's world. First, your work makes the light visible within your spheres of influence. Your tasks put you into relationships and positions from which the light can stream out. Like a lighthouse tower, your lampstand job lifts your light up so it can reach into the darkness. Second, as a lampstand, your work holds you stable within those spheres of influence. It provides a place, a steady platform from which the light continues to shine out. Third, your work lampstand holds your light there within your spheres of influence over extended periods of time. It makes your light dependable. Others can count on it being there tomorrow, next week, next year. This gives those in your work circles time to observe how your faith makes a difference in the way you work and relate to co-workers. There in the trenches of the work world, you may feel that any light you may contribute is pretty insignificant. What difference does it make whether you shine there or not? Well, let me tell you a true story to illustrate. When I was 13, my family drove in our 1951 Plymouth from the state of Washington to Ohio. My dad could not resist when he saw the road signs saying Montana's Lewis and Clark Caverns were just ahead. Our guide took us deep into the cave lined with stalactites and stalagmites. Then, pausing his lecture, he announced that he would turn off all the lights. He did, and we were plunged into an inky darkness like I had never experienced. I could not even see my own hand in front of my face. After the effect of that total darkness had sunk into everyone in his audience, The guide lit a match. That seemingly insignificant dot of light reached everywhere in our cave room. No, not enough light to read by, but enough to let us walk among those stalactites and stalagmites without bumps and bruises. As a Christ follower, you not only have His light, you are light. Jesus says so. You are the light of the world. Paul says so. For you were once darkness, but now you are light in the Lord. Live as children of light, for the fruit of the light consists in all goodness, righteousness, and truth. Light is who you are. Light is part of your identity. Like that match, your presence there in your workplace cave can pierce its darkness. The fruit of the light, goodness, righteousness, and truth, manifests in qualities such as these: integrity, compassion, humility, honesty, forgiveness, patience, gentleness, generosity, hope, self-giving love, purity, diligence, and so on. No amount of darkness can ever overcome the smallest amount of light. Thank God then that your work is the lampstand that makes your light visible, holds it stable, and makes it dependable. One more Kingdom of God reason to get up and go to work.